The Wannabes Season 2, Episode 10. My name is JD.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Wassabi.
And we are back after a week hiatus. And it's February. We are in the dog days of the worst month of the year. At least if you're on the East Coast like me. I know Will escaped into the...
It's all sunshine for me.
Yeah, so let's not talk about that. We're getting hammered with snow. Me and Will just played a bunch of friendlies. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we should let's start off with that.
First time cross-continental.
How's the connection for you?
I thought it was fine. I didn't get too many rollbacks. I think both of our we both have gig speed, right?
Yeah, we both have fiber.
Yeah, super playable. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you trashed my Falco for like 3 or 4 games. I never understood. My Falco is like a Falco Ditto master because I always, whenever there's a good Fox on netplay, I immediately switch to the Ditto. I'm like, I'm not trying to lose. I want to get this good practice, so I could beat bad anyone. But I was like, not having it. You've quickly advanced past the Falco stage, and then you were beating my Fox for a while too.
Yeah, and then the end. Yeah, towards the end, but actually towards the end, I think you were fucking me up. You said you got angry.
Yeah, I was getting tight, and I think I've realized,
your play really improved after that. Honestly,
that's how it sucks. I need to figure out a different way to play, because you know I've always been a friendly novice, like the tournament master.
Yeah.
I realized that when I get mad in friendlies, that's the only way I could unlock that potential. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's unsustainable, but I right now I don't know another way to get there. I kind of hate it, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, you kind of have that Joe Young effect where he only plays well if he's just a little bit mad. But I mean, what matters is tournament day and stuff like that. I think it's just how do you feel I'm curious, what triggers you to feel really serious? What did you start looking out for when you started changing your game plan?
Oh, just knowing that I was not doing the way I like to play neutral is that I always second guess every option I want to go for. The option that looks really clear, I immediately switch at the last second. I don't have a game plan. I try to make it as chaotic as possible. And so I know I'm playing shit when I do the obvious things. When I'm okay, this is what I'm going to double jump and then wave land back. I just do it instead of thinking of a different way to maneuver that situation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So once and it's always a frustration with myself, it's always I need to be able to play better. Why am I not doing what I know I can do? And then I get into it's just an avenue into the flow state. You know what I mean? So without that heavy emotional investment, for some reason I just can't get there. It sucks. It's so bad.
It's interesting because your play drastically improved after that. I thought you weren't playing as complacent, and I had to switch up the way I played.
Right. Then we had an actual
and you were forcing
session
mistakes. Yeah.
But I mean, your box play has really come along. It's really just ledge dashes at this point. It's that's clearly the one fault, but other faults aren't as obvious. Your tech chases were really there. It just felt like the old you in a way.
It's getting there. I think I still struggle with some of the flow scrappy stuff. There were times where I would just keep missing a tech, and you would eat me up for it. But yeah, you're right about the ledge dashes. I've just been getting lazy. I've just been really lazy with it. But playing you, I had to mix in ledge dashes and stuff like that in there. So I probably should just try to do it all the time so I get used to it. But it's getting there. The Fox is getting there.
Should you do it all the time?
I don't really want to because that's super too obvious too. You just have to cover the ledge dash then. But I don't think I do it enough as a default also.
It's tricky because it's like, do you think that you are like responding to, let's say, an SD from a ledge dash? Do you think that like stops you from wanting to do it more? Or do you think it's
A little
just,
bit, yeah.
you don't want to like tunnel vision the one thing you're trying to get because then it's just covered all the time?
Both. I don't want to tunnel vision on one thing, but also I really don't want to like SD because it's like I've just been started. I just started being able to like kind of hit a flow state with the box, like where I can actually like move and execute like a game plan like for a long period of time. Like I think before when we used to play, it was like, oh, okay, Will's got like some combos and then he doesn't kind of know what he's doing in neutral, and I felt like I was playing neutral a little bit better. Because I can kind of think about the game now.
Yeah, you kept like, I think there was never a point where I dug deep enough into neutral that it was like, I mean, I think there were 1 or 2 games in that mix, and I think we played what, like 15 games or something, like
10, something like that,
around there, between 10 and 15, and usually on the games that I could beat you, it's when I like almost circle all the way back in neutral and like kind of lead you on throughout all of that, and that only happened like once or twice, like a few stocks, not even like game wise, you know.
There were a few games though where it was a wash, I would say, where you really got me going. I think
I two stocked you like twice, but like, yeah, I mean that was the biggest hurdle. I think that's what triggered me to like get into that zone, was not being able to shake you off and not being able to like get a firm grasp on the things, like the thing I needed to, which was the neutral game. You know, that's always where I'm able to get an upper edge on you, and I wasn't able to. And then your combos kept coming. I mean, your combos are very frustrating. It's like like when I'm getting comboed by you, I really don't like you as like a person, you know? Like and so that didn't help either, but it was definitely like, I don't know, a pretty interesting friendly session for sure.
Yeah, no, it was super fun. I think like I gotta stop being scared of the ledge dash. I just gotta do it because I've practiced it like, you know, on my own, but I haven't practiced it like in the pressure cooker of things, and that's really what I need now, you know, more than anything, is just practicing the ledge dashes when I'm stressed, if I'm down a stock, if I think that's like the best thing to do. But yeah, I mean, the combos and the neutral are coming together. I think I feel like I'm like hitting my combos a lot faster actually now too. Like I'm able to like react to, I'm going for different combo routes a lot, with like a lot more nairs and fairs off of up throw, and like doing those tech chases more than like, I think I used to default like up smashing to end my combo, but I'm really trying to like squeeze out every inch of the time after I grab you. Like there was that one combo totally where I like almost zero to death you. Do you remember that? And then I messed it up on the like the last part. I don't think I would have gone for that route before.
I remember doing that to you, and then you like shined me off and like killed me at like 4, but I don't remember you doing it to me.
No. It was after that. It was like a few up air strings and then like a tech chase on the top platform and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember.
I don't know. You comboed me a lot, dude. I can't think of specific ones.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the box is coming along, I think. This feels like the first week where I feel confident saying that.
Are you playing a lot of like other players? How's the other sessions going for you?
It's going well. I've been playing a lot of like really good players that I've missed playing against, like Miso I played with. I played with Square Parts for a little bit. And then just finding new people on the Melee Online Discord to play with, and just trying to get longer sessions.
And any West Coast homies hitting you up?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to play with Homemade Waffles soon, so hopefully we can play and catch up. I played Phil last week, and that was super fun. He plays so different from East Coast Foxes, so way more aggressive, way more in your face. So it's really interesting kind of playing such a different style. So I'm really excited for like that sort of practice.
Wow. All right. And how'd you do against him?
I was doing okay. I think he washed me a few times, and I think it was like probably like 60-40, 70-30, but I really, really need to work on that style because he really like just was like lightning quick and rushed me down. And I'm not really that used to it. I'm not super used to that, honestly, as a play style.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had that type. I mean, Animal's the only one that comes to mind on East Coast, but even other like Long Island Foxes don't have that style. Like
No, not at all.
Wild doesn't play like that, you know?
No, yeah, Wild doesn't play like that. Smokey doesn't play like that. So I think like it's been interesting. Funny enough, feel like the person who's most aggressive after Animal and Long Island is Snoo. I've been playing him a lot, honestly. So he's been helping me with a lot of the March matchup.
He's got a forward only syndrome on that Marth, but he's got a good record on me, so I can't talk.
His Marth's good. It's really sick. It's super unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten a lot cleaner also over the Slippy era.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, hopefully you keep pumping out sets against the people you don't usually get to play with, but it's also good to like keep on revisiting the people, you know, that you played with before, see how you stack up. What do you feel is, besides ledge dashing, obviously, like what do you feel is the one or is a thing that you still need to like get back to speed?
I think still like execution, honestly. Like I'm just not hitting stuff, or I like will mess up stuff. Like I think I gotten better at like trying to cover for it. So like there would be times where I realize I got a miss input and I would back off instead of trying to force the situation. Mm-hmm. And I think that's just me being like trying to be a smart player. But you know, ideally I wouldn't put myself in those situations. And I'm still missing like kill confirms and stuff like that. So I think overall I could just be a whole lot cleaner.
Gotcha. Okay. And final question, any tournaments coming up?
I'm going to try to enter some locals. I don't know when they are. I think one's on Friday, but I just have to see. Hopefully I can do some weekend ones because doing it after work is very tiring.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Cool. All right. Well,
yeah. What about you? How are you feeling on the Melee front? I know you're waiting to get your controller.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, as soon as I ordered, as soon as you sent me the controller, or like we agreed that you would, my current controller stopped with the light shield problem. Like the biggest issue I had with it stopped happening.
That's hilarious.
It's like it's just my luck, but I'm still excited for it. Like I'm still gonna. It's nice that I'm gonna have like a pretty solid, like notched, broken in backup, which I haven't had in a while because I technically do have a backup, but it's not any of those things. It's like a $40 silver, you know. So
yeah,
it could be worse, but definitely excited to like see what a new controller can do. Because whenever I get a new controller, it's almost like rediscovering the very like corners of my game, like the very small things that I go for. I either become less or more comfortable with them, and then it's fun to see like what subconsciously comes out of that shift in like what's available to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I understand that because I just had to switch the box recently.
It's less drastic when it's from one GameCube controller to another, but
yeah. But I mean, it makes sense. Like, I feel like I'm playing completely differently on the box now versus how I was before.
Right, so I'm going to have the exact same experience.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I've been playing a good amount of unranked, but I think the MMR thing has been pretty good. I've noticed a legitimate increase in who I'm being paired up with, which is...
That's high.
Pretty sick. Also, like, mid-level people that I'm playing against will quit out very quickly. It's so stupid.
The unranked thing still bothers me. I haven't had a lot of good luck on that.
I mean, I've run into people that like that Fro 118 or something.
116, yeah.
116. Matched
super good.
Yeah, matched up with him on unranked and was like, you know, that session was about an hour 15, and it was just so like it just brought me, even though I was losing, it was again like 70-30, maybe even 80-20. He was winning a lot. It just like sucked me in so hard. So it's nice that I still have that relationship to it. And I feel like on the games that I've been playing, I feel like I'm playing well and like back to like a similar peak of where I've been before. Maybe not, it's hard to gauge that sort of thing. But I do feel good in general, which is a good feeling. And I'm still kind of looking at commentary as like my main thing. And there's been some really cool developments on that front.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask you about your recent commentary stuff.
Yeah, so first is all of the 1v1s that we have that have been super slacking on the production side. Everyone listening, I'm sorry, but also you'll be fine. So being able to talk to all these different commentators and like ask the same questions and gain their perspective on things has been so sick. Like just the best experiences ever. They, from nuances of like what makes good commentary to like their own experiences on improving and like getting better at the skill to getting, your name out there and developing as like a personality and a brand. Just across the board, just so many insights from, Toph to Fendi to Shakespeare, like all these people are provided just really powerful, smart, and like honest reflections on their experiences, which has been, I don't know, man, it's been awesome. I mean, you know what it's like to interview someone you look up to. It's like,
yeah,
it's such a good feeling. And then I did a commentary gig in it was Valhalla. I got a spot.
That's sick.
Yeah.
You just have to be the best European commentator.
They'll be like, "What's that accent from?" I'll be like, "Who knows, man? Definitely not New York, where I have to wake up at 5 a.m. to make it to pools." Oh my god.
Hey, well, you get to top 32, you're waking up at 7 a.m.
Yeah, I know. I get to at least have like my morning coffee or something. Man, that was, I almost slept through it, which makes a lot of sense, but I set an alarm for like 4 a.m. I'm like, all right, I'm going to set one alarm for 4 and another one for 4:20 because they needed me for a sound check at 4:30. So I'm like, okay, I'll wake up. I'll do like, I'll take the dog out at 4. I'll get a quick nap, and then I'll, do whatever they need me to do. I'll have my cold brew, whatever. And I just never set the second alarm. So I woke up at 4, and I like looked up. I'm like, all right, dog's fine. I'll set my second alarm, and I like had it on my phone like 4 a.m.
Oh no!
But I like never clicked set, and I put it down.
Oh no!
And the dog is in the bed, and I wake up to Maple just like making this disgusting gagging noise, just like at the foot of my bed. And no, it wasn't even at the foot. It was like she was next to like inches from my face, so she was about to like vomit on my face. So clearly I woke up and I like looked at her and I'm like, oh my god, is she okay? And then did she throw up? She threw up a different time. I don't know if that was the time that she actually like, because it was just like a napkin that she had. She like ate a dirty napkin. But it was 4:56. And I was like, oh my god. And it like gave me a jolt of adrenaline. I like ran into my other room. It was like 56 degrees in my computer room. So I like bundled up with a blanket, hopped on the Discord, and there were like 10 TOs all talking. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And they're like, no problem, man. You ready to go? I go, I guess so. Like, shit, what do I do? So, nick of time, I got in, and I almost lost my spot.
Well, I'm glad you made it. It sounded, at least from your like post tweet after that it was like super re-energizing, and you kind of got like back into the commentary. You got the commentary bug again after that.
Absolutely.
So, like, what about commentating those matches or with the European commentators and watching the European players really got you going, you think?
I mean, a few things. One was it was pools, but it was round robin pools, so they had lined up the best matches from each pool. So it was nonstop, like, if not competitive, then it was like Leffen versus the third best player in X country. Like it was at least a very good showcase of talent. Second was the fact that my co-commentator didn't actually ever commentate Melee before. He was a ultimate commentator, and I'm gonna actually look up, as I'm going, I'm gonna look up his name. Apologies. He had experience, and he had experienced TOing and all that, but he had never actually commentated Melee before. And so he was, on the play-by-plays and on the analysis, he was able to, show me, what's the word? He's defer to me rather, on all the different, things that I could take control on. And so there were some pretty long moments. I feel like I should have this right here. Where is it? Dagobert.
Yeah.
So
nice. We got there. And he actually did a lot of really good like prep work in advance. So there was a sheet with every single match that we were going to do, notes from each player, where they were from, characters, all that. So it was just such a smooth experience there. And there were a few moments where I was like shoutcasting it like you would in like Dota or something. Just last stock situations, I was getting super hype, like moment to moment, really trying to cover it. And, some of it was hit or miss, but it was nice to be like really drawn into it and provide like some level of hype or like really get my voice into the match like that. So long-winded answer, but I think across the board, it's just a really positive like commentary experience. Super smooth, super fun, good matches, all that. Nice. That's super hype. It's super exciting to see you getting some time also there on stage. So that is really exciting.
Yeah, man. I think that it's tricky to get spots. It's not hard to get spots, but it's tricky, I think, to figure out which ones you want to go for, because you don't want to be so picky that you're just waiting around for like, I'm waiting for the perfect opportunity to get my name out there. It's nice to have Hex's Nightclub, but it's a monthly at this point. So it's just like, it's not the worst environment to be a commentator. But it is definitely like a bit of a, it's not like, okay, this weekend I'm going to a regional. I know I'm going to commentate in advance. It's like, okay, I'm getting put on a day or two before, because that's the speed that events are thrown together,
Yeah.
So getting the spots feels good, but it's still a long way to go before it's, more seamless.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know what was seamless though?
What, you're gonna have a transition?
Yeah, this seamless transition right now.
Into what?
Into our hangout, netplay, online Smash Fest.
Yes, that was a seamless transition and a seamless experience.
Dude, I had so much fun about it. Like in all honesty, I think like I didn't think that the move to the West Coast would be like that bad, because everything's online. You can still play with your friends, and right, nothing really changed. But the time zone difference really fucked me up. I think it was just really tough, because like I'd be hitting up friends and they'll be like, "Nah, I'm gonna sleep now." Like, "Oh, I'm gonna sleep," because they're all on the East Coast. So like, it was nice to be able to like just do like a Smash Fest into like a little bit of Among Us before everyone headed to bed. I had a lot of fun with it.
Me too. I think it's something I want to keep doing, because we don't have the largest community, but I think the community we do have is very like tight knit, and just a bunch of like smart, pretty funny people. And so to be able to just goof around with in a voice chat, it's nice to be able to throw that together and have it go well. Even the people that just like were dropping in, for a bit, like Kemar was like 2 a.m. for him.
Yeah, he lasted till 4 a.m.
Yeah, I know.
In Germany. Yeah, I mean, shout outs to the entire. It's just shouts to everyone who attended, honestly. But like, it's crazy. I think that we are starting to have that community, and so I'm hoping we can keep growing it and have more awesome people and have more conversations on the Discord and do more fun events like that, whether it's like a Smash Fest or Among Us or like a watch party of some sort. I think that would be really fun, honestly.
Well, we have the watch party voice chat that we haven't really cracked open yet.
No, we have to figure out what we want to watch party.
I'm sure there's going to be a tournament coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
That'll spark everyone's interest. But in terms of like, well, there's tournaments, and there's also, you mentioned some like animes or movies, which I think would be cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely the wave nowadays.
It is. It's just tough to start a series also, which I do admit. Like, even a series like Ping Pong is 10 episodes, so like
maybe it's a movie.
It's a
night
hard
type
commit.
Deal.
Yeah, it might be a movie night thing. It'd be fun to do like a YouTube video thing and then like talking about it. Like, I just posted a really interesting YouTube video today about what it was called, something one-dimensional mechanics. And that was really interesting because it talked about L canceling as pretty one-dimensional, that it doesn't really, there's not much interaction to it. You just have to L cancel, you know?
Right.
It's something you do kind of arbitrarily, and I thought that was really interesting. And it'd be fun if we could like get a few YouTube videos together and like talk about some things, theorize some things, or just have fun and watch some funny YouTube videos.
That is
Maybe
fun.
That's the wave.
Yeah, like everyone brings a YouTube video they want to like share.
Something like that, yeah.
I think
YouTube video or set. That would be fun.
Yeah, hell yeah. Super down. Yeah, things like that, I think, I came out of that night just so, it was a lot of fun. But it made me like really grateful for the just the community that was developed and the time that was put in, like it felt, because I've been in, like Walt's Discord, for example, and he's clearly, it's his YouTube channel that like brought people to the Discord, and people are there to like talk about his content and all that stuff. And then it's a cool, to play Among Us with them and all that. And then to have it in our Discord, it's like, it, again, it was a modest group. It wasn't anything like insane in terms of amount, but there was something really rewarding about being like, I contributed to a collection of people, like people meeting each other and talking and playing games and all that. And it kind of took me back to college when like I started a club, and it was a very similar feeling of like, okay, clearly it's about, something bigger than, like, people aren't there for me. It's like, there's a common goal, either like the things we talk about or melee or whatever. That's the true like glue. But to be a contributor of like people coming together and some sort of community, I think that is like, I don't know, it was a really rich experience that I haven't had in a while. I think that's why it's like it resonated with me so much, not just because the people we hung out with were cool, but because of like the circumstances around it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think for me it was like, yeah, I mean, it's so crazy. I mean, when have we done like anything like that? I can't remember the last time I did something like that social, because of the pandemic. So I think that's been super crazy. And then also like the fact that it happened in our Discord, I think is crazy too. Just looking back about like where we started, we're still kind of trying to grow as a podcast and stuff like that. But to have like a group of people do like a hangout sesh at the Discord is like, I don't know, I thought it was a pretty big milestone for us. Like it left me really, really energized, and it was like, I felt really good for work going into this Monday. And like, yeah, I mean, super humbling in my opinion. Like, it was actually amazing.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think in terms of energy, it's been a pretty strange month or so. Because I was like keeping you and Ventus and everyone like in the loop of the sprint I was on, the self-described sprint.
Yeah.
And maybe it was self-fulfilling, but it came to an end, and it came to like a halt, and that's kind of how I tend to operate. Which, I'm still trying to like climb out of a little bit. It's not, it's not anything super debilitating. It's just, I'm trying to, I always get fucked up in the winter, and this is a particularly, difficult winter.
Yeah.
So, I'm not like freaking out on a logical level. It's just, this is where I'm at, a halt of energy. And so, yeah, I mean, a social event like that is really cool. I know that also, we were joking around and like playing games, and we were having fun, and like that was the vibe. But I know at any point, and this happened a few times, like someone would like bring up something, and and then it would be like mostly like pretty sincere, earnest answers to it, like legitimate conversations. And it feels like that is kind of like what's the word for it, like an ethos that this podcast has, is that like, I'm always down to like fuck around and make jokes and all that, and you are too, but the point is that the most rewarding conversations and like settings we can make are the ones where we're actually like, wait, how do I feel right now? Like, what do I actually think about this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely know what you mean. I mean, like the questions and like, well, it just was so fluid, right? It was so organic, and I think that was pretty hype too. Like we just had like someone posed a really fun question, and we all kind of went around and answered it. It almost felt like we were just like hanging around like a couch or something, right? Yeah, really fest vibes. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, we need a plan for the next one?
Yeah, I mean, everyone in the Discord will put together something else. Our Discord is consistently growing. Every Among Us game, will grow.
You'll accuse me of being imposter just with no evidence at all.
I should accuse you more. You were imposter 2 out of 3 times.
You should have. I saved that last kill for you.
You went super quiet at the end. I should have been more suspicious.
Yeah.
But
I hate when you hard accuse me.
I love it. It's like, it's honestly 50-50 is not a bad ratio.
It's not a 50-50 when there's 8 people on the screen.
No. I know it's not a 50-50, but I have a 50% success rate.
Are you 50-50 on it?
On accusing you? It has to be. I accuse you all the time.
You do. I think you're wrong most of the time.
I'm wrong half the time.
No.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see. Well, talking about the community, I think we should just get into the Discord questions, honestly.
Sure.
There are some really good ones. I really want to get into it.
Sure. Do you want to bring them up?
Yeah. Let me pull them up.
So I can't pull them up without screwing up the recording. TBH.
Yeah. Okay. So, dude, honestly, shouts to Cypher 003 again for all the questions. These questions are always super fun, and then also shouts to Kemore, who also asked some questions as well.
Hell yeah.
But from Cypher, favorite pizza toppings?
Mushroom. And
nice.
If I want to get super crazy, we go mushroom, sausage, pepper, onion.
Nice.
Delicious.
I'm a sucker for a sausage pepper one. Mushroom, I think, is pretty SS tier for vegetables also.
Yeah.
I think a good buffalo, or not buffalo, why did I say buffalo?
Barbecue?
Like a good, no, not barbecue. Like, I think feta or like some type of other type of cheese is like, can change a pizza. Like a feta spinach with like mushrooms would be really good. Oh,
I changed my answer. Chicken bacon ranch slices are...
I mean, chicken bacon ranch is like... Yeah, if we're talking like
rogue, yeah.
Combinations, chicken bacon ranch, you can never go wrong,
yeah.
I think.
But like in terms of toppings, like you have to isolate... Because I think pepperoni's a little overrated.
No, I agree too. I think sausage is like pretty consistent.
So good. It's underrated.
It's underrated because of how consistent it is. It's like the Falcons that make top 8. They might not be winning the tournament, but they're getting top 8.
I would say
they never disappoint.
Sausage is the SFAT of
it is the SFAT, yeah.
It's always been.
It's sausage fat. We figured it out.
Sausage fat. Yeah, that's what.
I'm surprised you were a little slow on the pickup there.
Well, I saw it. I just didn't. I knew S for sausage, but I didn't realize the fat came after.
Yeah.
I've been eating a lot of pizza, and I'm super about it. All right, next question.
If you had to go without Wi-Fi in exchange for living anywhere you want, would you do it, and where would you live? I can easily answer this. I would not do it. I think with you just have so many friends from all over. Like being able to keep in touch with them and stuff like that, I think is pretty priceless. Like I'm assuming no internet. I think Wi-Fi, like if I can have Ethernet but no Wi-Fi, that's fine.
Oh man.
But I'm assuming no internet. But if I had to live anywhere, I'd probably go for, I mean, I'd love like Argentina, honestly.
Nice.
Like Argentina would be hype, like in the Patagonia area in the southern Argentina for me. What about you?
It's tricky. I think my instinct is to be like I couldn't work a job, but let's just say I could get a job that would generally keep my standard of living, and I could be able to retire around the same time. Like all that's around the same. No internet.
Yeah.
I could live anywhere. I would probably go with Spain or Portugal.
Nice.
And that is because I would take Ashley with me. I think she would like to live in those places. I would tell all my friends, like we would have to resort to letter writing. But I also know that if I detoxed on the internet, I would be in a better emotional state,
That's fair.
So
yeah,
like
that's a good pro.
Yeah. So honestly, I wouldn't do it on my own accord, but if someone's like, "Hey, I could strip this away for you and make this decision while you live in Europe," I think it's pretty appealing. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Next is name a bad color and why it should be canceled.
You see that yellow thing behind you? On the ground?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's like an IKEA bag.
That color.
What's the color? I don't know. I was gonna just insult you. Never mind.
If you looked at anything but the turtle.
Yeah, I was go for the turtle.
No, hell no.
No. Probably like those like childhood, like like where you like the kid rolls into 3rd grade with like 64 colors crayon box.
Yeah, which color?
Like Granny Smith apple, I thought was always a dumb name.
Okay, so a shade of green.
I like green generally. I just think the naming of it is.
Wait, is
dumb.
Granny Smith the green one or the?
Yeah, like it's like a light green.
Yeah.
Um.
Okay.
Yeah. This one's exciting. What anime moment deserves to have a full MCU live action treatment?
Oh, in Haikyuu.
Obviously, Marvel.
Haikyuu, when he makes the return and the ball goes, he makes a super high receive.
Yeah.
It's gotta be that one for me.
Haikyuu's super sick for that. I think that's a hype moment. Funny enough is like, what moment deserves like a full MCU revamp?
Oh, it's probably DPZ, huh?
No, I don't think I think DBZ is pretty overdone. I really think like it's hard to think of like really amazing like animes. I mean, like obviously Haikyuu recently, but you could argue that what was it? Demon Slayer, that like the episode 19 that went viral because of like the gorgeous animation was super good. But I mean, I don't want to say Haikyuu also, but I kind of just want to say Haikyuu.
Just do it. What moment?
For me, I think it was I really like that block, honestly, too. I hate it. I
The
hate that
same
we have the
moment.
same answer for it. It's the same moment for me.
Well, that was. I mean, it is like a recency bias because
It is that was the best thing I've seen in recent memory.
was
Is
that
probably
was
what
that
I
the
would say.
last episode of the season 4 or
Oh
the second last
shit!
one?
No, no. You know what it is? Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy
Never seen
Bebop, I
it.
think is. Yeah, I know. Has to be one of my favorites though. Like
That was
the
so condescending. Yeah, I know.
I didn't mean to it, but like I think when he goes like when he just lights the cigarette, it goes like whatever happens happens. Like that was such a sick moment. I love Cowboy Bebop. It deserves all the praise.
All right.
It's justifiably as hype as people make it out to be. I think yeah. And then I think the next one is what are our thoughts on Ultimate Frisbee? This is interesting. That's left field.
It's fine. I think I played it in high school a little bit. I was just never good at throwing a frisbee. So, like, I was on the taller side, and
Mm-hmm.
um, at the time, I was like decently in shape and was really good at like putting my body out there because I played soccer and I did wrestling, so I knew how to like
Yeah.
take damage, and
Mm-hmm.
so I would, it was fun to like catch and all that, but I also played baseball, so I could like catching hands,
Yeah.
but I was terrible at
I
throwing.
like I think Ultimate Frisbee is a cool sport. I think like it's not my flavor per se. Like I never played Ultimate Frisbee, but like it takes a lot of like physical skill and yeah, it just takes a lot of physical skill and also like technical skill. So I always think any sport that requires that and endurance is a in my book. All right, the last two questions are really interesting. Um I'll start with this one. What is a common relationship maxim that you don't believe in?
Like things that are commonly said about relationships.
Yeah, like for example, I think for me, it would be honestly, I think it would be that like you and your like you have to be like 100% for your like support for your partner.
Hmm.
I think is really interesting because I think like you can't be another person's 100%. You know, there is sort of a individual responsibility of taking care of yourself and like you have your partner to be there for you and to be additional support and help you, but you can't be like another person's everything, if that makes sense.
I agree. I like that. And I wouldn't expect anyone else to be to like give things up for me either, or to like put me before them. You know,
Hmm.
but maybe it's just a guy thing that we're built that way. But I don't know. I definitely agree. I think it's a detriment to ourselves, and ultimately, if we give too much of ourselves, then it's almost disingenuous in a way. Because I don't think human beings are built to be able to prioritize another life, you know, above our own.
Hmm.
There's always an instinctual like self-preservation thing. I think that has to be true.
Yeah, yeah, same. I think also for me, it's more of like a you have to help yourself before you help other people, kind of like an oxygen mask
Yeah.
analogy,
Hmm.
where they ask you to put the oxygen mask first so that you have the capacity to help other people. And so I think like being a supportive partner in a relationship is different from being someone's like everything, because you do have to take care of yourself also
Yeah, I
to
like
be able
that.
to have the capacity to help others. Yeah.
Yeah, I think another maxim that like I disagree with is it's kind of a simple one, but have you heard of "Don't go to bed angry"?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
I think people take that very literally.
Hmm.
I think you have to like attempt to resolve issues. You can't like let things dwell. But when it comes to going to sleep, sometimes it's you just need to go to sleep. And it's like you could resolve it in the morning when you're both, rested and more calm, but there's nothing, especially, we're in long-term relationships here. At this point, like, I don't know of many existential issues that are going to come up at 11:30 p.m. It's mostly like a combination of things that either got built up or combined with other problems, and sometimes just like sleeping and like waking up and then having a cup of coffee, and like then it's way easier to say like, hey, can we talk about this, and then like legitimately apologize, rather than having that like dramatic emotional like we can't go to sleep yet type of scenario. I think the soul of that phrase is just don't let things just like, don't push things away, don't push problems away,
I think you need to if you're angry, you should be able to feel your emotions and like let it express it without having to put it down, obviously without like being mean to your partner in any sort of way. So I definitely agree with that. I really do like that answer. I think I think that's all I have to say about it. I actually just really agree with it.
Cool. I believe that very strongly, so I had a lot to say about it.
Apparently. Okay, last one from Cypher is, and then we'll get to Kenmore's Melee related question, but this is a Melee one. What is your favorite thing in Melee that starts with the letter E? And mine is very easily edge guards. I love a good edge guard. I love the flow chart. I love like being able to execute it, and like it's kind of like a checkmate for me, or like a check in chess. You can like set up a win condition. There's lots of mix-ups with it. I really like it.
Whew. Not a lot of things start with E that aren't edge guarding.
There's edge canceling.
Edge cancels. Honestly, I like a good edge cancel. I can't lie.
There's ego. I guess there's ego. There's players. But are there any players that we like that with the letter E?
I mean, the first thing that came to mind was EE, the commentator. He's not necessarily a Melee commentator, but he has commentated a fair amount of that game.
Yeah, he has commentated one. Yeah, some. I mean, shouts for him doing the Leffen Mango Salty Sweet Fox Ditto back in 2015.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
He's among one of the most respected like personalities across games. And I think he's, besides the fact that he's just the letter E twice as a tag, he's someone that I've always like really admired. Not just like his skill, because he's definitely developed his skill as a commentator and his voice, but he continues to like seemingly take risks and try to evolve and like develop, which means that every time I listen to him, I've never heard him crack the same joke twice, and if he has, he's like self-aware about it. You know, like he's someone who's constantly trying to I don't know, like find stuff in the moment and be a lot more fluid, and that's really hard to do. So I respect the hell out of it.
Nice.
I think
that's a good answer.
Yeah, if I were to like model my commentary after someone and be like, you could be as good as this person, it would be like in that realm. I'd want to be like him for sure.
That's awesome. That's sick. I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, I think he's the best. I think he's actually like the best commentator that Smash has come out with. And
interesting. I wouldn't say a hot take, but that's a take.
That's a take.
That's a take.
All right. What other questions we got?
Last one, and this is regarding Diet Melee. So this is in your realm, because I haven't played Diet Melee yet. But Kenmore saying that like Diet Melee with like the backgrounds kind of being reduced, kind of aids with performance, and like everything's rendered down, backgrounds simplified, costumes simplified, same with animations, that he's noticed that there has been a lot of improvement on his neutral game by like a pretty significant margin. and he doesn't really know why. Whether it's the models, the background, or like there's nothing really distracting in the background. But he's wondering that is it a good idea when practicing or playing online to play Diet Melee for the benefits? Can it be considered cheating? And if IRL events start again, will this practice and the switch therefore fuck up your game, or will the neutral benefits carry over? Like that you'll be able to see kind of the Diet Melee neutral buff through a regular Melee background.
I've never thought of it this way.
Do you think, well, let me phrase it, has your gameplay gotten better?
No, I don't think so.
From Diet Melee.
I like it. I didn't play today. Like, I actually can't notice too much when I'm on it or not. Like, I'm pretty sure I wasn't on it today in our session. And, well, to answer is it cheating? Absolutely not. It's completely not cheating.
Yeah, I agree with that
because
we can get that one out of the way.
It benefits both parties. It just makes the FPS a lot more consistent. So, and that's something that carries over. So, in that regard, no, it's not cheating. But if it'll affect your play when we go back to LAN, that's hard to gather. I think it's on the margins, right? Like based on what we're dealing with, it's not something as drastic as, let's say, a like no L canceling, or even more minor, like when you're inactive, there's a green, like your character turns green, like those sort of filters. It's it's much less drastic than that. I also would recommend you look into whether or not this improvement you're seeing is not a placebo, because I find it hard to believe that, like, just switching to Diet Melee, like, I was distracted at first. Like, it actually made me worse for the first week or so, because I was constantly like, oh my god, this Peach looks like shit, like every new game, just super distracted. But I think with anything that gives you an edge, it's important to make sure you're going back to the default ISO. There was a moment when UCF wasn't always around, so you have to make sure that when you're going to a LAN tournament without UCF, that you don't play with UCF for a few days. And as long as you're giving that sort of respect to the rule set you're going to do, and respect to like what the change can do to what you're used to, play with what you want now, do what's comfortable, and then if you're going to switch back, just go back to it for like a week and you should be fine. That's my answer.
That's your answer? Cool. Well, without having played any Diet Melee, I've seen some of it, but I think that, like, it's definitely not cheating. I think the thing is that you could, like, honestly, in my head, I really like the placebo kind of theory behind it. Like it just might be more comfortable for you, and Melee is a really fast game, and so stuff that like simplifying character animations and simplifying models might just kind of help zone in the focus. But like you're probably also just getting better at the game,
right?
Like I think that's also like a big thing, right? But I think that, like, there are even like professional athletes that have like certain preferences or rituals, right? And so like if yours is like playing Diet Melee, that's totally fine. That's the same thing as like a soccer player always, I don't know, putting his right boot before his left because playing with his like favorite pair of shin pads or whatever, right? Like whatever makes you feel. I think it's probably more so that like you, and I don't want to, like, the thing why I'm like don't really want to give a full answer is because it's hard to, and it's such a individual question. But like a theory is you could be possibly just like more comfortable and relaxed, and you're able to then like put that energy in your mental stack to playing neutral better because you feel less uncomfortable. But it wouldn't mean that like you aren't able to do that on regular Melee animation.
Yeah, I agree with all that. But also, it's good to play comfortable. So if you need to, it's like saying
it doesn't matter also on Slippy at all.
right. It's like saying, if you're at home and you're wearing comfortable pants and a blanket, and that makes you play better, then yeah, if you go to a tournament and you don't have a blanket and your comfortable pants, then maybe you'll play a little worse. But it has nothing to do with the game. I think it's closer to that than it is any sort of other add-on, or like physical change. So I think it boils down to like, these sort of things make your experience better. And sometimes, like, if you go to a tournament and you play worse, it's not because you're not playing on Diet Melee. It's because playing in a tournament is hard and often makes you play worse. So just keep that in mind, But yeah, I love Diet Melee. I'm a big fan of it. And especially in doubles when like I play with a lot of my friends from upstate, and at this point we all default to playing Diet Melee for doubles. So it's like just the fact that it allows me to do my favorite game mode is. We didn't talk about doubles at all. I played so much doubles this week.
Yeah,
but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Big fan. Do it. Don't feel bad about it.
It's sick. It's sick. It makes Melee more accessible. There's nothing better than making Melee more accessible.
Yep. Agreed.
Well, that's it for the questions. But those were really fun questions. Very different, honestly.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
I like the non-Melee ones this week.
The non-Melee ones was great. I really did enjoy that.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're wrapping up. Definitely more of a chill week. A little late for your boy, but we'll make sure that we don't forget to record on a Sunday next time.
Yeah.
Sorry for getting tilted,
I'm glad...
even though it made me play better.
No. I was getting tilted. You were like, I play better when angry. I was like, this motherfucker, like, like, why is he being like, oh, now I'm like, why is he being like super like machismo about this?
I had no choice. I had to follow my gut, and if I didn't, look, we talked about toxic positivity. I wasn't gonna.
No, I know it was really funny. I was just like, yeah, it was super funny. I'm happy that you were playing better. I'm happy I was getting fucked up. I'm happy I can make you angry too.
Yeah.
Now.
Well,
that was my goal.
Once I get the new controller, it's GG's.
It's GG's.
GG's.
Yeah. Let's run it back. When you searched off Falco, I was like, okay, that was my goal.
Yeah, I need to actually grind. Like I want to keep playing Falco against good foxes. Like it wasn't a disrespect thing. It's just not.
No, I know it wasn't disrespect.
It's not there.
But I love two of my favorite things is like getting someone to switch off a character or like getting someone to like say, oh, I need a break. I love that because I want to just keep on playing.
See, that's why it's easy to get mad playing against you. You have these awful, like terrible antagonistic goals.
It's not I just want
to. That's what antagonists say.
What?
If there's an anime about Melee and one of the characters says, "Oh,
I'm definitely the protagonist here."
Everyone's their own protagonist, but I'm saying,
yeah,
to say the words "I would like when my opponent needs to take a break." That's like hella antagonist. That's like first antagonist of the series turns good guy. Shit.
I guess so. Like Vegeta-esque. Yeah. I guess it could be. One could argue. I don't know. For me, like, it's like I think Melee is like with best of 3s and best of 5s are always really cool, but like that's like a snapshot. Like I'm really curious about like the long term like interplay with it and like who runs out of ideas first. And I don't think taking a break is bad, honestly, but I think there's something to see like how long you can kind of last. Like I'm the one I've been the one who concedes a lot of the time, like when playing Beer Man, being like, hey man, like, or Hacks, I'm like, hey, I need a break, I need to refresh.
Well, Hacks is a robot.
But it's more of like a fun mini game more than anything else is my opinion on it.
Yeah, I've had to tell Hacks that this one infinite game on Battlefield is not working for me anymore. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, we have to take a break from this episode. And be done with it.
Yeah, you gotta go to sleep.
I gotta go to sleepy. I'm tired.
All right.
Good talking. We'll talk next week. Have a good week, man.
Yeah, talk next week. All right. See you, man.
See ya.